Alright, what's up, y'all? Look, I'm gonna try to do this real quick. Just one take, just run through real quick. I ain't even no editing, no reshoots. That's late. Just finished watching the URL Genesis event on Caffeine. Just kind of give a quick instant reaction on it. I did a little video earlier recapping the first battle, which, let me think, if I'm not mistaken, was John Adon and Chess, I believe. But we'll run through it all again real quick. Just initial reaction, first thoughts on everything. The stream, dear God, was terrible, bro. Like terrible. Um, it was so choppy. You couldn't hear anything at first. You couldn't see anything. At times it was both. Then it was either one or the other. You either had audio or no video. Vice versa. Even then it was choppy at best. The Caffeine profile themselves hopped in the chat and was like, hey, just bear with us, be patient. We're gonna fix this. We know this is on us. They were streaming the event on URL's profile as well as Drake's profile directly, so you could kind of flip back and forth between the two to try to catch the stream. For a while, it was streaming on Drake's a lot better. Shout out to Jizzy. But it eventually kind of balanced out. It took a while, but it did eventually balance out. So shout out to the Caffeine staff for getting that to work. They kept saying they would, and they did. They got it together. So shout out to them. Again, the event was free. I had to complain anyway though. So yeah, man. The battles. How did the battles go? So let me just run through them as I can remember them. John Adon versus Chess. John strikes again, man. Like, dude is just a tactician, man. He always, wants these. I won't say all up and comers because Chess is kind of past that now, but he gets these guys on these hot streaks. Young guys on these hot streaks, and different levels of experience, but younger class than him. Excuse me, and he just makes him look mortal, man. Chess just didn't look the same. Didn't look as prepared either. Not finishing a lot of his material nearly as clean as we've seen, but yeah, I would give that to John. Possibly with the 30. I think just the feel of it while I was watching, I think I gave Chess the first round. John clearly won the last two. I think after the fact, a lot of people were saying John with the 30. He hit one of them Jack Boy seconds, man. It was bad. It was bad. Let's see what else. JC and O Red, man. You want to talk about? This was the surprise of the night for me personally. I had O Red 2-1 going into this battle, just keeping it funky. And I was wrong, bro. I was wrong. I think JC with the clean 30. Again, lack of preparation, seemingly. Allegedly on O Red's part. Just didn't seem to be as prepared. It wasn't getting through the material as clean. Stumbling, chopping. I don't know. It was odd. Red didn't just seemed off. Not making no excuses or anything or saying that, he that's why JC. No. I'm just saying he wasn't very good. On top of the fact that JC was cooking. He was cooking them all 3 rounds. So shout out to JC for that. What else we got to talk about? Okay, the other surprise of the night, besides Red and JC, Arsenal versus T-Top, bro. Yo, for everybody that has the app that missed the live event, if you don't have the URLTV app, for real, get the app. I do not work for URL, obviously. I ain't get no kickback from that, but if you know what I'm saying, if you're able, if you can swing it, get the URL app. All the, a lot of people talking, all the battles aren't the greatest, but man, it's great. It's a lot of great content. Are all the battles great? No, but were they all great when they were on YouTube either? So that's just not fair to say. I appreciate the app, and especially recently, Cat's been getting busy on that joint, man. Like the recent battles on there, Cat's been going in. So, get the app. I can't wait till these battles to drop. I wonder if they're gonna blur out. I don't want to give too much away, but Ars goes for a fatality in the first round, like an absolute. Bruh, like this goes beyond battle rap. Like I'm laughing and stuff, and it was funny to an extent, but in all honesty, I don't, in my heart, I don't believe I condone the move as far as in the context of battle rap because it had nothing to do with the actual battle unless Ars was personally involved. And that's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to give too much away. But let me just say he used a prop, he used audio, video material from his phone, and proceeded to show the crowd and show the stream, the camera. It was wild. It was wild. Tried to, man. He tried to whatever Jerry West kept saying in the face off. You seen the execute. Ars tried to execute T Top in his first round, but man, T Top came back with a one of the greatest. People were saying in the chat like, "Yo, this might be the greatest comeback round ever." I think even on the stream, the Champion Squad, they were saying, this might be one of the greatest comeback rounds ever, and it was. It was a great because Ars mollywopped him in the first, and it looked bad. T Top came back in the second, man, strong bars. I'm sorry if I'm going through these kind of quick and not saying bars. I'm not gonna do that. No disrespect to the recaps that do. I'm not, not saying anything about that. I appreciate both forms. Just for me personally, I just don't feel right giving out the bars. That's just a personal decision. So, also, it was a lot, and I was still between that and the UFC event. You know what I mean? Like, trying to keep all the information. I don't want to mess up nobody's bars. But yeah, man, T Top came back, great second. And then they had I don't know. It comes down to who you think won the third. So Arch definitely got the first. T Top definitely got the second. Whoever you got in the third wins the battle. So me personally, who I had winning. I believe I had top 2-1. What was ours? Again, I said I had a lot going on, man. The stream is jacked up. But I think I had top 2-1 with the second and third. Jerry West and Rum Nitty. Contract kill, man. A lot of times, when this, well, I'll just say when this got announced, a few of us, a few people were kind of like, I don't know. It smelled like a setup smack. It smelled like setting up my guy Jerry. And yeah, man, that Rum was waiting us, man. Waiting for him. 30, gentleman's 30, I think. Oh wait, before I do that, let me go back to this top and Ars battle because this got crazy. I'm talking hilarious for a second. Okay, so after, and I can't even get into it too much because it's gonna dig into what Ars did. But after Ars did what he did, T Top took this certain angle on him, and Ars rebutted that angle with around like saying, "Nah, that's not true, and this is why it's not true." Now, Ars and T Top's battle devolved into something very strange. I'll just say this: the Ars and T Top battle in my book will forever be known as the Father of the Year battle. That's what the battle devolved into very quickly, very vehemently. They were viciously and with heavy vitriol defending each of their positions as the preeminent father in battle rap. If not, at least between the two of them. If you've seen the stream, you know what I'm talking about. Like that was kind of crazy, wasn't it? That was kind of funny. The way they both just started. From how it started to what it got to, like from how it started off, the stuff Ars was doing, the stuff Steve Chop was saying, then to be like, and I'm a better father, man. Hilarious. But anyway, Jerry and Rum, gentleman's 30. Yeah, Rum is just different, bro. He like, like somebody needs to like Ancestry.com 23andMe Rum, bro. Like he might have extraterrestrial DNA or something. Like it doesn't make sense how he continuously comes up with this stuff. Like it makes no sense. And it's just like like some people, man, like that, their pipeline to whatever that space is, that inspiration and creativity and stuff comes from, whatever realm that energy is. Some people's pipeline, like the faucet in their brain that releases that is, there's like a little drips of that creativity and genius, dripping through in their brain. Some people it's a little tiny steady stream. Some people it's on and off, changes up. Then you got people like Rum Nitty where that thing is like a faucet. It's full crank, just gushing. Like, yo, what? What did he say? Let me just say this. A lot of stuff got unbelievably slept on tonight. Yo, the crowd for this event was hot garbage. Alright? Garbage. There was some absolute fire that was being spitted. Like, some people were spitting some disgusting. Like, ugh. And it just, no reaction. The amount of people that were talking through people's rounds and the amount of times they had to, like, get on the mic and Smack had to regulate, Debo had to regulate. Hey, come on, the rappers having to regulate. Hey, be quiet. Stop talking. Come on, listen, y'all in the back. So, let's come on with the side conversation. Come on, Shane, you know shit, with all the side conversations, baby. Debo, like what? Come on, man. Like y'all all there just talking. Like what you doing? So I don't know. Anyway, that was annoying. And it was just odd when you were just hearing the weight of some of these bars these cats are spitting, and like it seemed like people wasn't hearing it. So that was kind of sad. But anyway, for us that was watching it on cam, that was catching it and reacting in the chat like, yo, this was fire or whatever. So to the battle rappers, just know we did appreciate the work you put into it. We appreciate your material. What else we got? I'm trying to think of what else before the main event. Oh, Clips and Shine. Ah, man. So it was looking like it might get ugly for a second. It was looking like it might get nasty. Because Sean dogged him in the first. Dogged him. And it was just like, maybe one of them. Maybe one of them. So Clips was all on the stream on the champion panel in between the events. I mean, the battles at the end of his battle. Campaigning heavy. He kept saying he won the third clearly. He won the third clearly. You got part of me, I've been partying and partaking, celebrating this event. That's all you need to know. Partaking of water, you know what I mean? Drinking that good old H2O. I don't remember that he wanted to separate himself that clearly in the third. If I'm not mistaken, the third was close. So I'm saying Sean dusted him in the first. The second was close. I believe I had Sean in the second as well, though. I believe I had Sean. I think I had Sean with the Gentleman's 30 as well. I'm trying not to let Clips cloud my judgment, which is what he was doing. That's the vet moves they be talking about. I see y'all. Yeah, but I'll have to rewatch it again. This was first watch, so pardon me. I'm just understand. I'm a big fan of bars. I'm a rougher critic than most, so I hate not to be indecisive, but I hate to give my definitive assessment of something, especially after the first watch, instant reaction. Just because a lot of times there's things that's missed, there's things I didn't, just didn't catch didn't catch the first time. So I really like layered, breaking things down. But I can appreciate the boom right there, catching in your face though too. There's an art to both. So I'm a big fan of bars, man. So yeah, man, the Clips of Sean. Just to remember, I believe I had Sean with the Gentleman's 30, possibly 2-1, but I believe I had Sean. But either way, I had Sean winning that battle. Not I believe, but I had Sean winning that battle. I just can't remember exactly the breakup. I believe it was Gentleman's 30 though. A few of those tonight, man. Few of those. Except John and Chess was not Gentleman's. That was hold this young. Main event, baby. Twerk and Geechee, man. So coming into this battle, I felt like bar wise, we really couldn't even have this conversation about like Twerk and Geechee shouldn't be in the same conversation. And I felt like it was criminal that more people weren't acknowledging that. That pen wise, bar wise, lyrically, as far as the crafting your material, I feel like they are galaxies apart. Galaxies apart. And I think Twerk was alluding to that a lot in a lot of the promo. And it might have sounded just like being cocky, but I actually agree with him with a lot of it. I'm gonna just keep it funky. Like I originally wasn't the biggest fan of Geechee's. He kind of started catching on before I became a fan. So even once he kind of started to blow up and do numbers, he was the West Coast guy coming over making noise, and everybody, the believability and realism angle and all that. I understood all that, but bar wise, I always just felt like he was very, very simple, and I just didn't understand why people were going crazy. It was kind of an enigma to me. But as of late, recently, he's just displayed a lot of growth over a short amount of time, and in several battles recently, like he's gotten the legitimate stank face reaction out of some bars that involuntary that talk. You gotta pause the screen, take a stroll down the hallway. Geechee been he been getting it. He been getting after it. So yeah, man, he's been elevating with the bar level. So I still going into this battle, I felt like just skill wise. But after I kind of saw the energy, seeing where it was at with the crowd and what they were reacting for, and just going off just crowd energy and in the building, I called this one too. I put it in the chat. I was like, man, Geechee's gonna take this in the building. Just seeing we'll just say it like this: the crowd was not there for bars, for the most part, and it was evident early that the more readily available, the more broken down and right there it was, the better. Yeah, no diss, no hate, because that's how it is on the bigger stages. But with tonight, it was just even more so. It was almost to a whack degree, like that they were being unappreciative or uneducated fans about some of the bars that are being spit. Like just like they weren't catching. It's like some of them weren't so complex that they weren't main stage bars. They were main stage bars. They were great main stage bars. Like the crowd was just behind. I don't know. So once I saw that trend, I was like, I don't know, Twerk. And so my assessment of the battle, I personally felt like Twerk took the first, and then after that, in the building, Geechee took the second very clearly. Twerk started to have some problems. He was kind of freestyling. He jerseyed in the second. Yes. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't super, super short. He might have even reached a contractual agreement. But he got right around that, whatever the contractual was, 2:33 minutes. I think 2:30. Got right around that, and then he said Jersey. But it was just very. You could tell it was a freestyle. It wasn't bad. He actually did very well considering, but just considering the moment, the magnitude of the battle, he didn't. It wasn't nearly what it needed to be. It wasn't what it needed to be for that. So I gave Geechee the second clearly, and then the third, Geechee did very well. And then Twerk went. And in the building, based on reaction, you got to give Geechee the third. But me just sitting here listening to this one, I can get a little more in-depth review or response to, because, again, just watched it. And I didn't have no money on none of the battles, so don't trip. I don't work for nobody's team, nobody's squad. I slight Midwest bias. I'm from St. Louis, But it's not a factor tonight, all right? But I can always be honest, even about my favorites. None of the people that battled tonight were any of my favorites, but people I'm a fan of for sure. So yeah, man, just based on the bars, just listening, I was like, good. And Twerk was talking in there. He was saying some crazy stuff that just was not getting reacted to, wasn't getting caught. And I felt like pin-wise, he took the third clearly, to me. But again, if we're just going off of in the building energy reaction, then you would have to give the battle to 2-1 to Geechee. I feel like second and third. Um, Depending on your preference, you could give it to twerk. But so that's how I call it, man. Yeah, it was overall. I think URL made the best of a bad situation. Again, shout out to Caffeine for getting it to work eventually. It was, problematic for a while. But again, it was free. We battle rap fans. We like to complain. Or human beings. That's just what we do. Um, just a little quick background about me and why I'm even speaking on battle rap is just because I love it, man. Like, I've been a fan of battle rap for, I don't know, well over a decade. I'm a young man. I'm a young buck, but I'm an old fan, bro. Like, I'm one of them old fans that the new casuals are complaining about. Like, man, y'all in the old days, and like I came up on that original founding generation of Smack that they always talk about as far as all the real stars and the originality, and there's no real stars in battle rap outside of them, and that wave that really built battle rap up as far as modern era what it is today. Um, like I was already heavily into it when they had the very first Smack event, the T Rex Math Hoffa event. Um, I was, I'm there for that. I was there as a fan when Big T hit the LeBron James, the remains of her, and the birth of the real talk thirds with Hoffa and T Rex, and I watched Deacon Frost get cooked that night. Crazy. Now I'm not. Don't misunderstand. I wasn't there in the building, but like as a fan, I was part of that process. Waiting on every video drop. Back when they used to drop the battle in sections. Each round was a different video. Man, I've been watching. I've watched all the battles. I'm watching Mook and Jay Mills battle in the street. I'm watching Cassidy murder Freeway in the studio. Um, Definitely was there for the St. Louis cast Verbs old battles. Ill and Hitman, like you said, a lot of people don't even know Ill and Hitman battle each other. Um, when Verb, you know, had the Guardian Angels ducking on SB and Juice Zilla, man, Remy, man. But yeah, man, it was one of my favorite battle videos to watch or set of videos events was let's just show you how old school I am, man. The Philly versus Lancaster, man. I don't want to get too much into it. I know it's controversial, but RP Tech Nine, we'll never know what happened. But for me personally, he was always somebody that was unbelievably instrumental in even getting me to be a fan of battle rap as I am today. That Philly versus Lancaster series, bro. Them verses he had for this cat Young D, man, he left Earth, and I felt like it was a perfect example of his capability, his power as a rapper, the charisma that he had, and so forth. So, you know, uh, uh, condolences to the victims and the families, and we hope, number of prayer and blessings. Hope everything can be rebuilt for them, and whatever happened, I hope that there's healing and progress and forgiveness. Not saying anything either way. But yeah, that was just something that was very impactful for me as a battle rap fan. Yeah, Hollow and Rich Dollars going to St. Louis, man. Um, Everything, bro. Math and Iron battling on grind time. I was a big fan of that West Coast movement. I used to watch the Suns back in the day with QP and Heartless, and um, I watched one of my other favorite battles was Conceited versus L Dot. They battled in a park somewhere. Conceited had this big old sweatshirt on. Man, all the old joints. Conceited versus L Dot. Trying to think, bro. What else? Oh, my mind just went blank. I was just thinking of another battle. I don't know, man. But yeah, y'all see that. Y'all see where I'm at with it. Y'all see the era. Yeah, Rex and Casa. Uh, Harlem versus Detroit, was it? Man, all of them. Of course, Lux and Miles, Lux and Moot. What else? But yeah, talking about that West Coast movement, man. Um, there was this other cat that used to always, man, what was that dude's name? He had this real kind of bland, understated punchline style. Dude from the West Coast had dread, skinny. He did one battle over on URL and got absolutely dusted by the audience. No reaction. Complete and utter silence. Battle Newborn, bro. Newborn. Back, man, they tried to feed Newborn, like, Newborn was struggling. He couldn't win no battles, and they kept putting him in battles they thought he was going to win, but he kept losing because either the bars just wasn't up to par, he would choke, or and they was like, man, come on, Newborn, you know. So they gave him a layup, gave him back. That was back when it was super regional and tribal. West Coast wasn't messing with East Coast. East Coast wasn't messing with Midwest, and so on and so forth. So they brought a West Coast cat over to a smack event, knowing the East Coast wouldn't rock with him, and like gave Newborn a layup win. You know what I'm saying? But man, yeah, I've been around for a lot of them crazy storylines, man. Crazy. But yeah. So shout out to Battle Rap, shout out to URL, shout out to Caffeine, man, for getting the stream together. Um, get the app if you don't have it. The event will be worth rewatching once it comes out. There were a few good battles in there. A couple of gentlemen 30s, like I said, but again, that was my assessment. I hope I didn't miss any battles, bruh. I'm gonna feel real bad if I miss one. No disrespect to anybody. If I miss one, I'll put up a new video. Um, but yeah, man, leave a comment. Again, I'm just doing this because I'm a fan. I just like talking about it. Leave a comment if you watched the event. What did you think about it? Who was your favorite battle? Any memorable lines you heard? You know, I'm not here to start no trouble. I ain't trying to fight with nobody. Just here to discuss. Just like talking about battle rap. If you like bars, you know, let me know what bars you was rocking with from the event. Any battles coming up you'd like to see that you're excited about. Anything you'd like to see scheduled that hasn't been announced yet. Matchups, all the good stuff, man. We're here for all that. So we're about to start dropping videos a lot more regularly on the channel. We're gonna have an actual official show and things coming out. You know, name and logo and all that good stuff coming soon. We're gonna do it all official, like. But yeah, man. It's your boy Louis Barr signing out, man. Peace.